Alice Hatter lives in a flat in Dawson House, Billingham, with her dad, gran, sister and dog Duchess. Alice is an intelligent girl who loves art, and being a tattooist is all she has ever wanted to do, much to the annoyance of her dad, who is determined that she is to be the first of the Hatter clan to go to university.
But why, when there's a perfect opportunity being offered to me right here?
I'm telling you that with brains like yours, you should be getting out into the world. University is the key. None of this. It's arty tattoo rubbish.
It's not rubbish, Dad, and I don't have anything against university anyway.
Then go. You're not leaving this house till we've sorted this, my girl.
Come on, girl. They don't understand, Duchess. I just want to be able to make my own choices.
It's a lovely sunny day and Alice decides to walk Duchess in John Whitehead Park. Duchess is a young mischievous dog and on seeing a rabbit charges after it. Alice, unable to stop her, is dragged along behind.
Stop, you silly dog, stop!
Duchess takes no heed of her command and determined not to let go of her dog, Alice ends up running for what seems like miles. It appears the rabbit is heading towards what looks to be a warren close to the bank of the Tees, and with a swift turn, the rabbit scrambles down the hole out of sight. Duchess follows but turns too late and slides into the river, dragging Alice along with her.
Ah! Help! Help!
Finally, she surfaces and reaches out for something to hold on to. Clutching the nearest thing, she pulls herself out of the water. Turning round, she realises she's on a golden leaf. She's confused and doesn't understand what is happening to her. The leaf moves swiftly with the tide, passing what can only be described as a piece of paper, a rather large piece of paper at that.
An invitation to the mayor's tea party.
The leaf is hovering above the river and without warning zooms off into the sky. Holding on as tightly as she can, she peeps over the edge of the leaf, recognising the sights below. The River Tees, Transporter Bridge, Teeside Park and Rosebery Topping. Finally, the leaf begins to descend, stopping sharply on the table laden with food. Stepping off from the leaf, she looks around.
Oh, it's the tea party. What on earth is happening to me?
At the head of the table is the Mayor of Stockton, surrounded by tea and scones. To her surprise, Duchess is sat next to the Mayor, having what sounds to be a very complicated political discussion.
I think some of their policies are good.
Near to her is a young boy who seems to have had rather too much to drink.
Who are you then? Fancy a drink?
The boy notices Alice standing on the table and picks her up. But before she could reply, the Mayor, who is getting rather too excited about politics, slams his hand down on the table. The vibration causes the rather tipsy boy to lose his balance and drop her. Fortunately, she bounces back down onto the leaf, which softens her landing, only for the leaf to zoom off again, though in a quite different manner this time. It goes so fast she cannot make out where she is, and the leaf begins to twist and turn, eventually spiralling out of control. Alice feels dizzy and disorientated. She opens her eyes and to her dismay she's sitting on a bus. But how? There's an old lady wearing very thick-rimmed glasses sitting across the aisle ahead of her, muttering something about youth of today.
It's not just boys either, girls too. They're drunken louts, the lot of them.
That's not true. You can't bag us all together. We're not all drunken louts, as you say. You're not being fair.
What are you saying? A bag? Yes, I have a bag of mints. Would you like to try one?
Alice gets up and sits next to the old woman and thanks her for the mint. Just as she was about to explain the entire crazy goings-on she had recently, Alice feels her body tingling.
Ah, you're looking rather small, my dear. Perhaps I should put my glasses on.
The old woman fumbles in her bag, taking out another pair and placing them over the existing pair of glasses she already had on. Alice begins to feel rather scared and wants to get home.
Could you please give me the directions back to Billingham?
Of course, my dear. You get off at the next stop and turn right. Keep going till you reach the Transporter Bridge, and once you're there, you'll get on another bus. It's perfectly straightforward. You'll know what to do.
And with a flash, the old woman disappears, leaving behind her 2 pair of glasses, which in turn vanish themselves, as do the seats in front and the floor below, until Alice feels herself falling through the sky and clouds onto raspberry topping, which has the texture of ice cream and resembles a giant lemon top. With the heat of the day, the ice cream is in a state of meltdown, and Alice begins to slide down the hill, picking up a cherry and eating it on the way down. By the time she reaches the bottom, she is her normal size again. With a bump, she has come to a stop on Seaton Carew Beach, just as a huge wave engulfs her, sweeping her out to sea.
Not more water.
To her surprise, she realises that she can actually breathe. In the distance is an underwater town, and she swims towards it.
Take a chip, lass. It'll make you feel better.
So Alice does, and after eating it, she starts to float uncontrollably towards the surface. The higher she ascends, the more she realises that she cannot breathe in water anymore. Reaching the surface, she gasps for air. Alice was now back at the side of the river with Duchess barking in her ear.
Help me, girl!
Alice grabs for a clump of grass and hurls herself onto the riverbank. Feeling mighty sorry for herself, Alice and Duchess begin a long walk home. Nearing the bus stop close to Dawson House, Alice notices her Gran. She runs towards her, her Gran standing open-armed, ready with an embrace.
Oh, Gran.
It's all right, pet. You're home. But where have you been? We've been worried sick, and look at you, girl, you're all wet.
I'm sorry, Gran. And I'll do as Dad asks.
No, you will not. You make your own choices in this world, and if being a arty tattooist is going to make you happy, then we'll all be happy for you. It's your adventure.
Thanks, Gran. Let's go home.
And off they go.